Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. Representative Benson proposes bill to establish Liberia National Tourism Authority. Liberia human rights records remain terrible. Liberia launches anti-malaria vaccines for children today. Police and motorcyclists signed memorandum of understanding for restricted zones, and President Boakai wants GST amended to VAT. Those were the headlines, and I'll bring you the news in details. Mount Serrato County Representative Bernard Benson Jr. has introduced a proposal to the House of Representatives aiming to develop Liberia's tourism sector. The bill seeks to establish the National Tourism Authority, effectively replacing the current Departments of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, while amending Title 30 of the Liberian Code of Law, revised, known as the Public Authorities Law. He emphasized that the Liberian National Tourism Authority Act of 2024 represents a crucial step in leveraging Liberia's abundant cultural and natural heritage to attract both local and international tourists and aims to drive economic growth to national development. In his role as the chairman of Information Broadcasting, Culture and Tourism, Representative Benson urges swift consideration for the passage of the bill into law, highlighting its potential to promote, develop, and regulate Liberia's tourism sector effectively. Liberia's industry remains underdeveloped due to inadequate transportation networks, limited electricity connectivity, deficient telecommunication systems, and insufficient accommodation facilities. These infrastructure gaps hinder the sector's growth and potential to fully capitalize on the country's natural beauty and historical significance. The United States Department of State has released the Liberia 2023 Human Rights Report, which found no significant changes in the country's human rights situation during the year. The report says significant human rights issues included credible reports of arbitrary, of unlawful killings, including extrajudicial killings, and torture or cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment by the government or on behalf of the government. The damaging 2023 report reflects the U.S. records of the immediate past Coalition for Democratic Change-led government, which handed over power on January 22nd to the ruling Unity Party. The report also unveiled serious restrictions on freedom of expressions, on media freedom, including violence or threats of violence against journalists and censorship, government corruption, and extensive gender-based violence, including domestic and intimate partner violence, sex violence, and female genital mutilation. It says the government did not take credible steps to identify and punish officials who may have committed human rights abuses. It continued that the use detention as a punitive measure, failure to issue indictments promptly, lack of functioning bail system, poor court record keeping, failure of judges to assign court dates, effective assistance of defense counsel, and lack of resources for public defenders all contributed to prolonged pre-trial detention. Liberia is taking a significant step forward in its fight against malaria with official launch of an anti-malaria vaccine for children aged 5 to 18 months, which is scheduled to take place on Thursday, April 25th in Sesto City, Riverside County, with support of its partners, including GAVI, WHO, and UNICEF. The Minister of Health, Dr. Louis Quoto, will lead the ceremony of a concerted effort to combat malaria in Liberia. The Ministry of Health has announced that 88,780 vials of malaria vaccines are available in the country, with the remaining doses expected to arrive in July. Liberia is one of the 12 African countries benefiting from the WHO's Malaria Vaccines Implementation Program, which aims to reduce the incidence of malaria-related illness and fatalities across the continent. The Ministry of Health has reaffirmed its commitment to prioritize the rollout of vaccines in 6 southeastern countries, which have seen an increase in malaria cases in recent months, including Rivers, Sino, Grangere, Grand Cru, River G, and Maryland. The Liberia National Police and the National Federation of Motorcyclists and Tricycle Association of Liberia have signed a memorandum of understanding to avoid major routes considered no-go zones. The parties signed the agreement on Tuesday, April 23rd, at the headquarters in Monrovia, and the enforcement and compliance are scheduled for May 15 on major streets. The signing of the MOU brought together several officials and members of the union seeking to raise public safety, awareness of road safety measures, and vehicle and traffic regulations. Accordingly, they have jointly agreed in the MOU to make Freeport to Central Monrovia and all parts of Central Town a restricted area for motorcyclists. Signing on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Deputy Police Inspector for Operations, Colonel Peter Freeman, spoke on the fines and penalties for violators. He noted that those who would have violated the MOU and the restrictions will be dealt with in accordance with the legal instrument. The president of the National Federation of Motorcyclists and Tricycle Association, John A.F. Kenyon, expressed excitement over the signing of the MOU and thanked the LMP, saying that it can be potentially mitigate road accidents and increase public safety measures. He said that the MOU is intended to ensure the safety of motorcyclists, and it also gears toward a culture of safety. President Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr. has written the House of Representatives seeking a proposal to amend Chapter 10 of the Liberian Revenue Code. He says the proposed amendment seeks to adopt a value-added tax, VAT, to replace the existing goods and services tax, GST, regime, in which the government of Liberia committed through a memorandum of understanding with the ECOWAS Commission to adopt in 2009. President Boakai made the disclosure that the VAT as proposed is a neutral tax, broad-based with minimum exemptions, transparent, and more importantly, encourages compliance. The plenary has forwarded the communication on ways, means, and finance, judicial and public account and expenditure to report on next Thursday. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I bring you a recap of the headlines. Representative Benson proposes bill to establish Liberia National Tourism Authority. Liberia human rights records remain terrible. Liberia launches anti-malaria vaccines for children today. Police and motorcyclists signed memorandum of understanding for restricted zones. And President Boakai wants GST amended to VAT. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.